Hello again everyone. Today we are going to be walking through my Cipher program that I have made in Visual Studio 2013. First of all, we can see a simple user interface containing once again the label for a title, text boxes, where we are gonna put our messages and keys, and we also have the two buttons encrypt and decode. To see how the game works, I will start it for you. From the start, we can enter the message we want to either encrypt or decode. For example, let's say we want to encrypt the message Ayan 6 Vipul. And our key is going to be 5, so to encrypt this message, we will press the encrypt button and we will see a label showing us the results which I cannot even pronounce. So let's see if we can decode this message back to its original. To turn it back to the original, we will have to use the same key message, which was 5. So if we press decode, we will see our original message. Now that we have seen how the code works outside, let's dive in and see how it works inside. First of all, we can see the decode button code and the encrypt button code. However, they could for both is basically exactly the same, except one tiny little bit which I will explain soon. First of all, we make a string variable called text. We then convert whatever we have which contains the message the user has entered in the first text box. We then make an integer variable named key, and contains the string the user has entered in the second text box, which was converted into an integer. Before going further, we check if the key is valid. If it is between 1 and 25 and the text box, which contains the key, is not empty, we will proceed with the program. So here, we create another string variable that will contain our decrypted message, which will be decrypted using the encrypt and decrypt function, which I will explain right now. It then prints the decoded message into the conclusion label.
The encrypted button code, as I said, is very similar to the decrypt button code. However, if anyone has noticed, for the decode button our key is assigned negative, while for the encrypt button our key is positive. And this is done because when we are decrypting, we are trying to find the inverse of the encryption. Now let's move on to see how the messages are decrypted and encrypted using the encrypt and decrypt function. Take notice that this function takes in the message of the user and the key that has been entered, text and jump. First of all, the function creates a list of characters which is the same length as the user's message, then iterates through the whole list of this newly made result list, and reviews each character. It checks if the car rent character is a letter, and if it is, make sure you'll listen to this. If the current character is the letter, we set the offset to be either a uppercase or a lowercase depending if the letter is uppercase or lowercase. Offset helps convert the character to a 0 based within the alphabet. For example, a uppercase will have an index of 0, B will have an index of 2, and so on. Then we move on to this line of code which shifts the letter by the jump value and then takes the module of 26 so that the key is in the range between 1 to 25. So for example, let's say the current character is a capital H of the jump value of 2. Festival, we check if H is capital, which it is, so the opposite will be equal to capital A. We then work out the index of H using our offset, which we then add the shift value of 2 to the 7, which will make it 9. And in case the key shifts the letter beyond said, we wrap around in the module of 26. And then we convert it back to a character, which will give us the letter J, capital H, with a shift of 2 becomes capital J. I hope it's clear now. And if the current character is a number, then nothing changes, and it's just left as it was. This function then returns us the hidden or the decoded message. Furthermore, I've added this little ND into the program to make sure that the user will not be able to type anything but numbers into the key, and the code is finished.